Hello, welcome to my shop. My name's Elizabeth, and today we're going to be making a little rabbit or bunny. Very springy or bouncy. You'll need a few things before we begin. A clean piece of paper to protect your tabletop. Clay, of course, some white clay. A color for the rabbit's nose. I'm using pink. A color for the rabbit's eyes. I'm using black. And your primary color of your rabbit, as well as your secondary color. I'm going to use blue and white, but you can use any fun color you can think of. You will also need a potter's needle or a toothpick, a silicone dowel tool with a bald end, or if you don't have one of those, a pen and another little silicone dowel tool. This bald end of the pen can be very similar to the bald end of this. If you have a smaller pen, use that. If you want to make your rabbit into a magnet, you will need some glue. I use this glue, and of course a magnet. Let's begin. We always begin by warming up the clay. If we don't do this, it breaks in the oven, which is not pleasant. So you want to warm it up really well. Make sure that all of these little abrasions are gone before you start to work with it or shape it as you want it. Okay, what we're going to do first is roll out the body for our rabbit. Take about as much as the tip of your thumb or more if you have a very small thumb. And we're going to work it between our thumb and index finger to roll it into a ball. Or you can roll it between your palm and your fingers or on the table like so. And then we're going to just press ever so slightly between our thumb and index finger. Press down, and we're flattening it so that it can be on a flat surface. Once we have our little oval like that, we are going to take one about half the size and roll it into a ball the same way we just did. Like this, rolling it and then flattening it so that it's about the same thickness as the body. And then size them up together, see if they look good together. If one is too small or too big, you can decide which one you'd want to add more clay to or take away some clay from. And I usually don't get it on the first try, so this is awesome. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to add the face to the rabbit. So we're going to take about a quarter as much as we took for this, split that off, and split that into two, and then split it into two again. Roll those into two balls between your thumb and index finger, and then place them on the lower portion of your rabbit's face, like this. And then you're going to take your fingers and smooth the sides, like so, and like so. This is sometimes where the smaller silicone dowel tool comes in handy, because you can just smooth it, and as you see the thumb, it's kind of difficult to get it in there, but you can also use a toothpick if you don't have this. That works as well. Just takes a little more patience. All right, so now that we have this part, we're going to take this remaining portion and break off about that much and roll it into an oval between our thumb and forefinger and set it right below the sides of the rabbit's face. All right, then you're going to take this portion, roll it into a very fat snake, and kind of pinch one end like this between your fingers and set it right in between your rabbit, the sides of its face. Then if it's too tall, you can just pinch that off, like so. And then I'm going to smooth that out on the sides, smoothing it out. Your rabbit, you can see it's taking shape. You can take your other silicone dowel tool or your toothpick or anything to smooth out those lines. Unless you like the lines there, that's a different style too, and that's fun. Anything that I give you is a suggestion to go your own way on this. All right, so now we're going to take a little bit more, about as much as we took for one of the sides of the muzzles, roll it into, we'll call it a caterpillar, because a snake isn't that fat unless it's eaten a lot. And then we're going to just set it on the top of the rabbit's forehead. This is giving it just a little more shape. All right, now that we have that on there, we keep smoothing it out. Whenever you set a new piece of clay on, it's good to smooth it out so that air doesn't get caught under it when it bakes or it cracks. That sometimes happens too. All right, take your silicone dowel tool, smooth it out, again, or your pen or your toothpick, and we're just gonna smooth it. It takes a minute. If you're not getting it as quickly, don't be dismayed. I took forever when I was starting to learn, and I'm still learning. All right, so now we have this. We can take our silicone dowel tool or our toothpick or anything and make a little indent kind of in this little crevice that we've made, like that, and that's where the eye is going to go. Then we'll make one on the other side, like this. All right, now if you have this little bald end, you can make more of a divot in there as well. Just helps it go in a little bit more once you put the eye in. You can also use your toothpick or the end of your pen or your pen tip, whatever you've got. Now we are going to make the ears. So take about as much as we took for the head, about that much, roll it out in an even little segment, measure halfway, and then you can split it in half like this. We're going to take those and roll them into balls. And then start to make them into ovals. We're going to take one and kind of pinch the bottom again and roll. Pinch and roll, pinch and roll. Once we have this kind of a teardrop shape, we are going to press it between our thumb and index finger again to get a rabbit ear. And when you put it on, it may be too big or too small. If that's the case, either you can add more clay or you can take away clay. Okay, I'm just going to set that there for a second. I won't attach it yet. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Rolling and then flattening. And then to place your rabbit ears, you can place them however you'd like. You could make them floppy rabbit ears. You can make them really alert up rabbit ears. Or kind of to the side, or have one flop down, one up. It's your choice. I will put mine right here, right above the eye. It's kind of a good spot to put ears. And then I'll put the other one right there. And we'll probably take a few tries of adjusting it and figuring out where you would like the ears to go. So now we're going to take our silicone dowel tool or your pen tip or your toothpick and smooth those ears onto the head all the way around. All right. And then we're going to do the other ear. And it's okay if the ears aren't exactly matching, because in real life, nothing is exactly matching on both sides of a face. There we are, we've got our ears attached. So now we're going to take either our silicone dowel tool or our pen tip or the end of your pen, and we are going to just slightly press down in the very center of the ear. Now you can rest the ear on your finger to give some pressure from behind, so it doesn't just like bend and flop like that. And then if you have a ball end like this, also your pen tip will work. You can kind of even out that little end right there, so it's a little more circular. And you can do that on the other side as well. Okay, now we've got our rabbit ears attached. We are going to add a little bit of our complementary color. Make sure to warm it up first, of course. And then you're going to take a very small amount, like less than we've taken for any of the pieces, and roll it out and then flatten it between your fingers. You can stretch it too to make it thinner between your fingers like that. And then you can make your rabbit have any sort of patches you would like, but I'll show you how to do it this way. So we'll just take a little bit right there, and then you'll press it down a little bit with your finger and kind of pull it off. We'll smooth it out in a minute, don't worry. So, like this. You can take your toothpick or your silicone dowel tool, any of your tools, and spread the clay. Just apply light pressure and it will start to move. It's spreading around, smoothing it out. So if you decide he needs or she needs more, then add more. If you decide you don't want as much in a specific spot, you can take your toothpick and just kind of take it away like that. All right, I'm happy with this so far. So let's move on to the eyes. Take some black clay or whatever color you're using. And if it's a little bit cold, you might have to kind of pinch a bit off and warm it up between your fingers. Then we're going to take half as much as we took for our little bridge portion. Going to split that in half as well. You can split it in half with your toothpick or potter's needle. And then we've got two tiny little pieces of clay. We're going to roll them into balls. And then we're going to plop those in the little indents we made earlier. Like so. Now the eyes may be too big or too small. Again, you can add a little more clay, take a little clay away. If you've already smushed the eye down in there and you're having trouble getting it out, take your toothpick or your potter's needle and kind of poke about halfway in and pop it out like so. All right. Now you may see also one eye is bigger than the other, so I'll take a little bit of clay away, and this is why my nails are never clean. Nails are good to just take a tiny bit of clay off. All right, now we have the eyes. We can add the nose. I'm going with a pink nose, but you can do any color nose, who knows? So what you're going to do is take about half as much as you took from one of the eyes, very small amount like this, and you're going to roll it around a little bit, and then roll it so that it's a tiny, tiny little worm, and we're going to put it on the rabbit's nose right there. And we're going to take our toothpick or our potter's needle and push the sides up to give it an angle, and the other side up. You can use your fingers to pull it out a little bit like that, and there we have a rabbit's nose. And it may take a little bit of time to get it how you'd like it, but take your time. Okay, so now that we've got that, we'll add a few more details later, but first let's take about as much as we took for both of the ears and split it into and roll those into balls, and then we'll roll them out like this and set it on the bottom of the rabbit like this. And then we're going to do that for the other side like this. You can have your rabbit's legs as long or short as you want. It could be more of a hare versus a bunny. And then you're going to take the edge, pinch it, and fold it over, and then do it on the other side. All right, now we're going to take about as much clay as we just had and split it into two, like so, rolling it into balls, and then rolling them into a teardrop shape, setting that on. And then before you push it in too much, just test the body. My rabbit is a little more stocky than the other rabbit. That's okay, it's cute. So then what you're going to do is take your toothpick and split it, insert it into the top of the body, and then press the body into the head like that. Then on the back you can smooth it together a little bit like that, just for a little added security. And then we'll add the tail. We'll take about as much as we took for one of the sides of the face, maybe a little bit more. Roll it into a ball and just kind of plop it where you see fit. Now we're going to take some more white clay or your complementary color clay, and we'll do the same process, pressing it down as we did for the face, and we're just going to set it down below on the feet like so, and you can just tap it to make it stay. We'll do that again. It looks like he's wearing slippers. All right, gonna do that up top, about half as much as we did for the feet, like so. And you can kind of smooth it to pull it to cover a wider area, and then same on the other side, or you can just do one side. That is a really fun part about clay and all art and life, really. You can kind of do it how you would like to do it. All right, so we're almost there, but what we're going to do is add the last little details, like a few little dots on the muzzle area. So take your potter's needle and just ever so slightly poke in the face, a poker face. All right, now you're going to take some white, take your potter's needle, and just ever so slightly flick, kind of a flicking motion to get off a little bit of white clay. It takes some time. See, about that much. And we're going to go to the eye and add the sparkle, and it takes a minute to kind of get it off there. You can make the sparkle as big or as little as you want, and then take the other side and like so. And to take some off, you can just slightly pull it, and to add some, you just add a little more. All right, now we can add eyebrows to get a smooth line. Don't pull, but press. And then again, we'll just press, and you can make your rabbit doing whatever you want with your eyebrows. It's eyebrows. All right, now we make indents the same way. Just press for the feet and press again, and press, press. And for the hands, press and press, press and press. And if you get accidentally pressed somewhere else, just smooth it over with your finger. Okay, you can be done here, or if you're done here, make sure to sign your name on your rabbit. But if you want, you can use the ball, this end of your pen, or the ball end of your silicone dowel tool to make kind of a fluffy look on your rabbit. I'll show you on the tail. You can indent like this to make it kind of fluffy looking. And you can do that all over the entire rabbit, as I've done on this rabbit. But if you're done, sign your name. I'll sign mine and date it so you know when you made it. Also, you can make, I'll show you on the back here, you can make the rabbit have kind of hair by just making little marks. Let's have fun with it. If you have a suggestion for the next video, I'd love to see it in the comments. If you have any questions, please let me know. And as always, the YouTube obligatory statement, like and subscribe. Have a great day, guys. You did awesome. Bye.